Welcome to the City Council Workshop for December 3rd, 2024. Citizens may address the council regarding any item of city business that is not on tonight's agenda. Do we have any citizens that would like to speak? Not seeing any, we will move forward to general item or executive review. We have a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding by and between the City of Laurel and Beartooth Resource Conservation and Development Area, Inc. With that, we have interim CEO Mike Regard to explain.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Before you, you have an agreement for MOU for Beartooth RC&D. It's the same development agreement that's been previous years. You will find the staff report that they are going to present next week. They will be in attendance next week at the next work or the council meeting. You do have the report to review, the memorandum to review. And what I would draw your attention to is they're going to be seeking an increase in the MOUs for 2026. So they're giving us about a 12-month notification that due to rising costs, they're going to want to be seeking an increase to cover their cost. They've kept the cost the same for the last 7 years, but it's a cooperative agreement between Yellowstone County, City of Billings, City of Laurel, and essentially a tri-state or five county area where they do work for economic development, trying to provide resources for people that want to start businesses and bring development in this area. So with that, they will be here next week to explain more.
Questions? Councilmember Mize?
Thank you very much. Do you have a feeling for how much the City of Laurel actually uses their relationship with RC&D?
You know, I've never been involved with them as far as dealing with that. They have put a list on that report of some of the local businesses that they've helped or conversed with, I guess, so that anybody can call them and get some economic development. I do know that they have resources to get like BSEDA funds, small business administration funds. We see those all the time at Big Sky EDA, where local businesses or business owners reach out to the Beartooth RC&D, and then they go in front of the Big Sky EDA for a small business administration loan. And they help do that. They also look at IRP fund loans. There's $400,000 available, USDA farm to school grants. So they have a lot of technical assistance that they can give to those small businesses. And they also provide training. So I don't know exactly how many people they contact other than the report that they submit.
Thank you. As a follow-up. Thank you. As a follow-up. So is it your understanding, because it's kind of my understanding right now, that we couldn't use them as a resource if we don't pay into this agreement? Or like our local businesses couldn't use them?
Yeah, what the agreement is for the local match. So they're actually trying to fund the position for a $70,000 grant. They need contribution from Yellowstone County, Billings, and Laurel to make that contribution so they can hire the people that can then be on the other end of the line answering those calls. So.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Next, we have a resolution of the City Council approving a memorandum of understanding for the 24-26 collective bargaining agreement between the City of Laurel and Local 316, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, regarding workdays and shifts. Again, CEO.
Yes, tonight, the mayor is wishing to bid or put out for a bid for the court clerk 3 position. As you've been well aware, we had a retirement happen, I think beginning of the summer or middle of the summer. And the mayor is wishing to go out and make sure that that position can be filled. It was budgeted by council, approved in the budget, that position. The mayor would like that position to be filled. What we did find is the person that is currently looking at it within the court clerk position, who's essentially doing the duties, she would like to have a 4-10 schedule. So she would come in at 6 a.m. and go till 5 p.m. with a 1-hour lunch. And in the contract, her days for that court clerk 3 are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It was a negotiated item. Because she wants to go to that different schedule, we have to have this MOU tonight. So I arranged with the union president, talked about it. We hashed out the terms with the city attorney and with the court clerk. I talked to her and I did talk to the city judge about trying to get this position filled and the nuances of the contracts, how they're a negotiated bargaining unit and they can't request a different shift unless we get some of this language cleaned up on that position. So it's one of the only positions that has a dedicated line item in the contract. And it's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. The judge was in agreement to go to keep it at 410s. A potential applicant for it is in agreement to go to 410s. So we had to change the contract through this MOU. And then with that MOU change, things like holiday pay have to be corrected. Make sure that holiday pay is for 8 hours. And that, so that would be if you say it's a Tuesday and it's election day and we're off. Everyone else gets 8 hours. So everyone at the PD gets 8 hours. In this position, if it was a 10-hour shift, she would only be eligible for 8 hours. She would then either have to make up the time, either working at 12 or use personal leave. So we have to have it in the contract to say, hey, the city is going to be paying out for holiday for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're at the water plant, sewer plant, city shop, or in the court system, you're going to be paid 8 hours for that day. It follows federal guidelines. When the federal government talks about paid holidays, they talk about 8 hours. I did get questioned about it if we could make it a part of the contract. I said that would probably be something that we could look forward to in the future union negotiations. And we could bring that up. And if the union felt that that was one of their strong items that they would like to discuss, they could bring it up the next negotiation. So before you, the changes are allowing for an alternate schedule. It also keeps that Monday through Friday schedule too. So if the position changes or the person changes, that you can still have that alternate schedule or have a modified schedule. The old contract did not do that. This allows a modified schedule. And when we negotiated the last contract, we had a stipulation that any of the work schedules and shifts could be changed by mutual agreement. But because this one position, court clerk 3, had specific hours, we felt that we needed to get it changed through the MOU and get it through the city council for your approval. If you would like to concur with a potential applicant and the city judge to go to the 410s. They will be then, after this is over, they'll be posting either court clerk 1 or court clerk 2. And depending on the hours in the contract, those are hours that are as workload. You may not need a full-time. The workload could increase with more court cases, more police officers making arrests. And so as the caseload goes up, there might be need for maybe a more full-time person, 40 hours a week, and then maybe they could go to a 40-hour week too. And maybe they would work opposite of that. So the first person would make Monday through Thursday, and then the other person would get Tuesday through Friday and make up that. So the court is actually open 5 days a week. Currently right now it's open 4 days, it's closed on Fridays. And then if there's an absence, because we only have one person, they want to go on vacation, the court has to be scheduled to be closed for that week. And I think having a second person would allow that to where the court doesn't need to close if somebody is sick or on vacation. And I see the judge walked in, if she would have anything more to add to it, but essentially it gives us this memorandum of understanding, if it agreed to, allows us to have a flexible schedule with all of it. So.
Questions? Okay. Next, we have a resolution to modify the previously approved compensation levels for the volunteer ambulance service. Again, CAO Archicard.
This one is a resolution modifying resolution 2450. The council had resolution 2450 back in July 9th of 2024. And that set out the compensation levels for the volunteer ambulance service. What our EMS chief failed to realize is she did not put on full-time personnel for on-call pay. And so they're asking to modify the previously approved resolution that the council had already done and through the mill levy that was already approved. It was part of the mill levy. And unfortunately, our our EMS chief couldn't be here, but she did send a message. She said the only change is the $50 full-time on-call pay for a 24-hour on-call shift. This has been approved with the mill money changes and staffing levels. I previously just didn't get it in the resolution like it should have been. 7 people fill the schedule 24/7, working 2 24-hour shifts. With vacation and sick and injuries, we chose to increase staff by 3 additional full-time people. This gives us a total of 10 people. It also gives us that the guaranteed coverage 6 out of the 7 days a week. In order to cover that 7th day, the full-time staff will take a call shift. If the regular scheduled crew member on that 7th day is sick or on vacation, et cetera, the call person will then cover that shift. It essentially gives us 100% guarantee we will have a full crew on that day. If we could make the world go to a 6-day work week, it would be make scheduling a lot easier, LOL. Again, it was previously approved through the mill levy, just didn't get it in the resolution like I should have. My apologies for missing it. So the addition will be just under on-call rates. In addition, full-time personnel shall receive $50 on-call pay per day, what's constituted 24-hour period, and that they act in an on-call capacity. So that's the language being added.
Questions? Thank you. Council issues? Councilmember Mize.
Thank you. I am hoping that sometime in the next month or two, we can relook at the tax increment districts related to the streets that we talked about with the bigger properties in town, so that we're not running too close to budget season next year to discuss that.
Anybody else? Councilmember oh, sorry. Were you gonna address that?
This is on the square footage percents so that we get something put together prior to that. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice to get that taken care of.
Councilmember McKay.
Thank you. I just wanted to share that our Small Business Alliance is doing a food drive for the middle school and high school pantries right now. Help kids that maybe don't have enough to eat or have growling stomachs at school. The high school pantry also has hygiene items for kids to use or to take home. They also do meal boxes, no questions asked. So it's just a really great service that they've got in the middle school and the high school. So we are doing a food drive right now, and there are 6 locations to drop off. Sunlight Property Management, the Front Porch, Montana Sweet Peas, The Outlook, Redneck, and Molly and Friends. And I have a flyer too that I will share to everyone, and maybe if something could be shared on the Facebook page too, that'd be awesome. It will be going until next Friday, the 13th. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Canopy.
Yeah, just on that lunchbox, is that for the weekend for those kids that aren't back to school, or is it on a daily basis?
That's a good question. It's not necessarily the backpack program. It's snacks that they have at the school that kids can come in during the day and get something. It's something that they can take home. But it's not necessarily that backpack program that goes home on the weekends.
Thank you.
Vice President, or
Yes, sir. Thank you. There was a park board meeting Thursday evening at 5:30 in this chamber. Thank you.
thank you. I want to apologize for not getting your on tonight's workshop. I didn't get your appointment on tonight's workshop. Brittany told me that she has a whole handful for next workshop. Okay. Councilmember Closey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to remind everybody, this Saturday, December 7th is Pearl Harbor Day. And the American Legion in Laurel and the VFW in Laurel will be doing a ceremony at 10 o'clock at the city cemetery. And then at noon, there will be another one at the National Cemetery. Everybody's welcome to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Other items you would like to address?
I don't have any other. Well, yeah, can
Okay,
I do it out there?
you can, you may.
I didn't plan on speaking to the council as a person that had a tragedy happen on our family land south of Laurel last week. I just wanted to thank Yellowstone County Sheriff's Department, Laurel Volunteer Fire Department, and Laurel Dispatch for doing an awesome job helping my family deal with a tragedy on our property. And we all came together and tried to make the best of it, the scenario. Unfortunately, it didn't end out like we wanted to, but I do want to thank personally the Laurel Fire Department, the Laurel Dispatch, Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office for assisting the landowners out there, put closure to the incident that was happening. So been working with the families. They have funerals set up and I plan on attending those funerals. So it's a terrible Thanksgiving for everybody, but to the loved ones that are out there, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I just wanted to thank city staff.
We all as a city send out our condolences to the families. Tragedy. So. Attendance at the upcoming council meeting? No? No? You?
Oh, yeah, it's the 10th, right?
Okay. All righty. Any announcements? We are dismissed.